When you're on top of the world, you will do whatever it takes to stay there. The sex, the drugs, and the fast money is enough to make even the strongest man fall to his knees. But as we'll soon find out, Wall Street is not for the faint of heart. It takes wit, courage, and sometimes a little bit of illegal activities to compete with the wolves of the trading floor. Now, if you're asking yourself, how does one handle such a job? Well, the answer, it's really kind of simple. Ludes and hookers, my friend. I'm James Hawkinjos, and this is The Rewind.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hey guys, this is Jimmy, and you're listening to The Rewind, presented by House of Havoc Podcast Network.
Your scientists are so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they just stuff is shut.
Never tell me the odds.
The Rewind.
The Rewind.
The Rewind.
It's showtime.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Rewind. As always, I got Gage Zangi with me and Emily Short in the booth. We also have a guest today.
Hi, I'm Katt.
Her name is Katt. Now, what we like to do when we bring new people in is we like to go over their credentials. So stop me if I'm wrong. Actress, singer-songwriter, podcaster, stand-up comic.
I'll take it.
Have you ever done stand-up?
I did do stand-up once.
Okay.
What am I missing?
Vlogger.
I be vlogging.
Couch surfer.
Clothing designer. Thrifter.
Handpicked a bunch of seashells on Long Island. Now that she's selling chokers with them.
Be scared.
That's the best way to do it, honestly.
Vegan. On good days.
Is that a credential?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
Give me free stuff.
All right.
I host a web show called Couch to Couch. And I have a clothing company called Lithium Customs. And I make music. And that's...
And we're happy to have you here. Today we're tackling the Scorsese classic, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Whoa, classic already. Boom.
Yeah, I'm going with I'm going with classic when I walked out of the movie theater.
I'm not fighting it. Don't worry about it.
when I
So-
walked out of the movie theater.
Let's
Is that
get
your Margot Robbie impression?
No. No.
You want me to start with
Yeah, let's get right
facts?
into it.
Okay. So, director Martin Scorsese, writer was Terrence Winters, and the book was by Jordan Belfort. Cinematographer was Rodrigo
Prieto.
Thank you. I never pronounce it right. Editor Thelma Schoonmaker. Cast Leonardo DiCaprio as Jordan Belfort. Jonah Hill as Donnie Azoff. Margot Robbie as Naomi. Matthew McConaughey as Mark Hanna. Kyle Chandler as Agent Patrick Denham. Rob Reiner as Max Belfort. John, I never pronounce his last name, Berthal, something like that. Brad, he was the one that was in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And then John Favreau as Manny Riskin.
Who's in it for like 2 fucking seconds?
Yeah, but he's so worth the mention.
Yeah.
It's like, there's actually...
when we get to it, there's a couple of heat check guys in this movie.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a
There's
couple
so
of
many.
heat
I
check
mean,
guys.
I could have kept going, but I was just like, let me stop there because there's...
I can just picture Jonah Hill's teeth right now in the movie. Just like...
It's so good.
Smoke
I
crack
have
with
notes
me,
about
bro.
that. Runtime was 180 minutes. There's a cut version that's 145 minutes for certain countries, and then the rough cut was 240 minutes. So they did a solid amount of cutting.
240. I'd love to see
240.
that.
It had to be cut to keep the R rating because it was going to get an NC-17
now I really
rating.
love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pay my-
Yeah. So rated R. Locations. I mean, some of them are pretty easy.
Long Island.
In Long Island, which
Yeah.
that pisses me off to no end that they say in Long Island in this movie.
Do they say
Oh,
in Long
it's
Island?
on.
They do.
He says,
Mhm.
and then I moved out to a small firm in Long Island.
Oh.
He does
Yeah.
Leo does the same shit in the Great Gatsby too.
Fake.
Oh. Who
Fake
Well,
news.
I mean, he's not
Hmm.
from Long Island.
I know, but Jordan
That's
is.
not. Yeah, come on, somebody.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
I doubt Jordan was in the
listen,
room,
if
but-
I was, well, no,
You need a
apparently he
native
was
on set.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do, honestly. New York, New Jersey, Italy, California, and Switzerland were all filming locations. Release date was December 25th, 2013. Budget,
Too much.
actually not. It wasn't actually as bad as I
53 million.
No, higher than that. Scorsese film. We're in 2013.
I'm going
I was gonna go 120, and then you said, "Not that much."
157 million. Cat,
No.
take a guess.
105.
She's the closest to 100 million.
Oh, I was gonna
That's what
say
I said. That's not that
105.
bad for a Scorsese film. Scorsese films can get up there.
I think just The Irishman.
No,
Right?
It took
'cause-
me
How
3
much
days
would-
to watch The
Let's, hold on, I
Irishman.
have my notes here. Let me look at Gangs real quick. Gangs was
Wasn't
up there.
Gangs like
100
87?
million. 100 million in 2000. Like,
Oh, that's
four.
right. No, they started with like 80, and then he was like, "You gotta bump that."
Yeah,
shit
in
up,
2002 he had 100 million there. We're in 2013. That's low for him.
Yeah,
I don't even
That's
know if
low.
the actual Jordan Belfort has $100 million. Like, is he doing okay?
Jordan Belfort.
I mean,
Like
I've
the
heard him on
actual
a-
Jordan Belfort?
I heard him on on Joey Diaz's podcast, and it was actually pretty entertaining.
He's-
He's like that guy. Like he really
Yeah.
does talk and act like that. He talks like he reminisces on the times where he's like, "Yeah, we were just doing this thing." He doesn't sound like
I
he
feel
has
like
any
he has
regrets.
a
He's like-
consistently little
He's like,
mouth.
first of all, the only thing he's like, it was a Ferrari. Okay, it wasn't
Mhm.
whatever it is in the
Oh, he
movie.
was
a
like-
Lamborghini.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I did. I thought I made it perfectly there. I thought I was so careful.
Oh, have you heard this?
Yeah, he was on Flagrant 2 recently.
on the Quaaludes.
in
the
Miami.
Quaaludes.
Yep.
The Ludes.
He was telling stories about how cars were parked on the LIE on like Sunday mornings, and you'd think like, "Oh, all these cars broke down," but no, it's just people fucked up who had to like pull
Wait,
over,
is
park, get
yeah.
a ride home.
Is there a line where he's like, I wake up and he like detoxes,
Yeah,
he throws up so that he can like have the perfect high.
Oh.
and
it's
get perfectly
it's
fucked
for
up?
the lemons.
Yeah,
does it specifically for the
it's at the end
lemons.
for the specific Quaaludes at the end.
Yeah, that's an
Amazing.
amazing scene. But I'll just real quick. Box office opening weekend. You want anyone to guess?
Opening weekend?
Opening. I
Oh,
have that
opening
one, yeah.
weekend.
70.
No, it's only U.S.
Oh.
20?
Pretty close. 18. A little higher than
What's
18,000.
the worldwide?
Worldwide was 392
total.
million.
What's total?
Worldwide, yeah.
Wait, say
Yeah.
it again?
Total, its
300
total was 392.
392 million, yeah.
I was gonna guess 350.
No, so it honestly wasn't. It was a success, but it wasn't like a huge success. It.
I mean,
only
for an
made-
R rating, though.
Yeah.
I mean, most movies don't. Most people consider a movie a success if it makes its money back. This made 3 times its money.
Also, we're talking box
think-
office, and I feel like there's so many more streaming services now, right? That's just box office.
Just
Like,
box office, but this is also 2013.
right.
Streaming was not what it is now.
Right.
So it's a little. I mean, when we do newer movies, it's gonna be a little harder. Like Wonder Woman was a little hard to figure out the worldwide.
Yeah, so I guess like
Yeah.
that movie
Wasn't
is
that
probably
hard to figure out?
still making a ton of money because it's on a bunch of different platforms.
Oh yeah.
Still out here shitting on Wonder Woman.
It's probably made more money being out of the theaters than it ever did in theaters. It's gonna be one of those.
And it was
Yeah.
it was probably honestly 2013. You're talking the back end of the DVD Blu-ray boom. Like
Mhm.
one of the last movies that probably made a good chunk of change on Blu-rays.
Yeah.
It's about $35 on your
$35
today.
on my
You
Blu-ray.
you spent that today?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say I
Yes.
figured you bought that when it came out for $35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only bought movies on like Black Friday, so it's probably like $10. I just pick it up.
A camera. I mean, it's
Oh, this is you, Gage.
$435. Ari.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it's all ours. It was he had the Ari Alexa.
Snaps for Gage.
I forget. It was 2 different ones, like the
Alexa Classic.
it wasn't the classic. It was like the super and the I don't speak camera. It was 2 different ones.
I don't speak camera.
And then he had the Ari Cam, the Canon, and then the Phantom.
Cool.
So, and he shot mostly on film, and obviously
That's
because
dope.
he's Scorsese, and once he went back to film, he has not really left it. The only he said I think it was the only stuff that was shot not on digital was the outdoor the night scenes because it's easier to
'cause it's
control
just-
with
yeah.
lighting and stuff. But everything else was shot on film. So
That's really cool.
I guess anyone have any like special stories about personal feelings or stuff like that about these?
I feel like this movie created a new generation of dirtbags and money hungry
Jordan
young individuals.
Bill-
And
Bird.
that is
Jordan-
a lot for a fucking movie, and it's awesome.
This movie's directly responsible for all the people on Instagram now who are like, you should sleep 3 hours a day and it never stop
Yeah.
grinding and
Mhm.
Yeah.
bleed out of your eyes like your brother Kyle.
I was gonna say I feel like this is a big development.
You're
in Kyle's
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like me and Kyle, I feel like we were very like, I mean, we're not that far apart in age, but like the Project X era was also, I think, the Wolf of Wall Street era. Because I
that's a good point.
remember so vividly the song Jordan Belfort coming out and like the Hamptons and like that whole like vibe and
Yeah.
and all of that. And it was like
That's
you
true. This
know,
movie probably did have a greater cultural impact on the metamorphosis of the Long Island douchebag than we realize even right now.
Yeah.
Like we might be looking back on this in 20, 30 years and going, wow, that movie really completely changed
Hit
the
different.
douchebaggery that goes on
'Cause
the
it was
east end
bad,
of
but
Long Island.
now
I mean, there's that, but also just like from a what's possible for a kid with ambition perspective. Like now, if you have ambition, you want to be there. You know, everybody wants
But
to
it
fucking
also
live that
shows you,
lifestyle.
like, I think it's interesting to compare it to like the idea now of like viralcy, like going viral, and like you show like as glorified as like his drug use is, or his all of his money that he makes is, like at the end of the day he gets pinched and he goes broke, right, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
what it
pretty
ends.
much.
Yeah.
So it's
100%.
like you can look at it like and compare it to now, how like it's like you look at it, it's so glorified, and you like leave the movie feeling inspired, but it's like what?
Well,
but
so
you-
here's
Like,
the
okay, but
how
here's the
going
thing.
viral feels now.
Nobody think this is why this movie is so great, and obviously it really happened to the guy, but this is the way it is. Nobody sees that movie and says that's going to happen to me, because everybody sees that movie, especially with nothing, and I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone says
Everyone
I'm
would be
fucking
like,
leaving.
"Oh, I'll leave."
Everyone says fuck that, I'm leaving.
Easy.
But when you're there, he just at that point he just made 22 million in 3 hours, right, with the
Yeah.
Steve Madden deal. Why would I fucking leave?
Well, yeah, sometime. I think that's later. In the
It's like a
movie.
bad relationship.
No, he makes the deal.
No,
he,
the deal- I
he
mean,
makes
like-
the deal. His dad tells him that he should lay low.
No,
he
he-
goes to leave.
He
And
makes the
during his
deal. The
speech,
20
he says, "I'm
No,
not leaving."
No, that's later.
that's
That's
not how it
after
goes.
he goes to the Swiss bank and after he gets
all that
Anselmo
happens in
on
between.
board.
The lemon scene happens in between that. Like the reason that he has to lay low is because of the lemon scene. Because the FBI tapped the phones, and when he the lawyer calls him, not the lawyer, the PI calls him and is like, "You need to talk to me on a secure line. You can't talk to me on this
Right.
line." And he drives into the country club where he's talking to the attorney. I mean, again, the PI. So I did it twice. Yeah.
He's on the phone and he's like crawling
Yeah.
to get the fucking phone.
So that's
But-
when he finds out when he finds out, listen to me. When he finds out that the phones are tapped, he then goes home, almost kills Donnie, and all that shit. That's when the dominoes start happening, because Brad got arrested, and then right after that and all of Steve Madden happened before
Right.
that.
But what I'm saying is the reason that the
I'm
FBI tapped
sweating.
his phones in the first place is because they took big notice when he acquired the IPO for Steve Madden and made $22 million in less than 3 hours. That's
It was
why.
even
That's
before
why the FBI taps his phones. If it's not that close in the movie, that's still the reason that the pressure, the
And
heat
now all
got
our
it,
phones
extra
are
heat was
tapped,
added.
so like,
Yeah, it doesn't
really,
matter.
just-
Yeah.
Well, the
not if you
FBI,
have an
I
Apple.
think, that's probably why the FBI tapped the phones, but they were well investigated him way before.
They were
trying to get the
looking at him.
reason
They were
why.
looking at him, and then he had that huge IPO, and then they were like, "All right, now we're going for him."
Yeah, and he also tried to.
that was the
bribe
difference.
him.
The switch flip.
Yeah, so the bribe scene was weird, and I really like the bribe scene because it seems like they're getting along. And then he just says that one line where he goes, he pretty much says, "I can make anybody rich." And then sips his drink, and then detective goes, "That was a bribe," and completely flips the script. And now they're not getting along. And I thought that was really interesting and kind of weird because I'm like, was the detective like just being friendly for the sake of being
Yes.
friendly?
100%.
Yeah.
I think they're both playing the game. I think that's how good both of them are at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
the thing is, like, for me, like, I kind of grew up with these types of guys because my
The Jordan
dad,
or the detective?
both actually, in a
Okay.
way. My dad was he does sales. That's his whole life. He's
Sell
done
me this
sales.
pen.
I made him watch this movie. He raged out for the longest time. He still to this day will rage out if I bring it
I
up.
was just about to say he's probably
Because-
still spiraling as we speak.
He is. That was part of the reasons he got crazy, because he's like, "That's not how you do it, this and that." And I'm like, "It's a movie, and they have to cut down the scenes, Dad. Okay, it's not a whole thing." But so
Dad.
with Jordan Belfort and this type of behavior and these types of people, like, I think they just kind of nailed it on the head. That's what it was like in that time frame for these guys, and specifically Jordan Belfort, where he literally just went crazy and stuff like that with money, and the ability to make more money and the possibilities that are there are just endless for these guys. And it attracted, like, a lot of my dad's friends, got involved in it. I know someone who went down for a Ponzi scheme. So
Oh, I know a couple. I know at least one guy that worked in a boiler room. I forget the name of it. He was out of there like a week before the FBI kicked the doors in.
yeah, no, this guy was
Yeah.
leading the Ponzi scheme. He was the Jordan
Oh
Belfort.
my God,
So,
amazing.
so it's kind of interesting to me because it's funny. I see so much of, like, people I know in these characters, and it's like, just-
Especially referring to Long Island. I think it's
Oh,
I,
yeah.
we all have like a little bit of that I mean, I know I have that little bit of obsession with like anything Leonardo DiCaprio does because I'm like, I'm just like instantly attached to it, even though it might not be 111% accurate. It's still like, oh, home. I know that.
Yeah. I mean,
This movie does a good job though. It's mostly very accurate. Like, because you
absolutely.
even hear, like I was saying, Jordan Belfort's he's a speaker now, is what he does. He does seminars on
God bless his soul.
pitching how to sell and shit.
Yeah.
And podcasts and whatever. So he said like the movie's relatively accurate. There's only a few inaccuracies, like a couple of small details. Oh, you have it all?
I have it all.
All right.
But real quick, when I was in freshman year of college, they were filming this right on like 21st Street and 3rd. And I walked into class and everyone knew I'm a Scorsese fan. And they were like, do you know Wolf of Wall Street is being filmed like right down the block? And we all looked at our teacher was Igor at the time, and we're like, see you later.
Igor.
Like,
I know Igor.
I forget his last name right now, but he was a big music video DP. He did like Juicy and I Want to Dance.
What? He did the Juicy video?
He did the Juicy video,
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I love, shout out Igor. He's like one of my favorites. But we literally were like, see you later. We're going down to the set because we're a film school. Why wouldn't we? And he's like, all right, be back in like 2 hours. Like, just make it time for like whatever.
That's a field trip.
I mean,
yeah, he came down with us. It was a whole thing. So we went down, and they were filming one of the scenes where he just walks into one of the
greatest filmmakers of our time is downstairs.
I think I still have pictures on my phone.
I can learn more from watching that guy than what you can teach me, Igor.
You could.
No disrespect or nothing. The Juicy video is sick, but that's
honestly,
Scorsese.
It was kind of like one of the coolest things in my life because you could throw a rock to Scorsese.
It's interesting.
Wild.
I was just thinking, I see a lot of similarities between, like, I was thinking of like, if they made this movie when they made Goodfellas, if Ray Liotta would play Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
And I think he would.
So someone like
so many similarities between Ray Liotta and Leo, like just because I just thought of like the scene where Ray Liotta makes sauce in Goodfellas, right? And he's like, I stir the sauce, and then I go back and I'm hiding the guns in the paper bag and I'm dropping them off to the guy, and then I go back and the phone's ringing and blah blah blah.
But you forgot
Did you stir the sauce?
Yeah, did you stir the sauce? And it reminds that
Two onions?
all that,
Two whole onions?
Yeah,
that's a lot of onion for this much sauce.
That whole scene. Not only is that so fucking Long Island, so New York, everything, but it reminds me so much. It's obviously it's Scorsese through and through, but like, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check my facts really quick.
That's the thing.
Like, I feel like it's so similar to Leonardo's, like, just kind of the way that a lot of his dialogue is written and the scenes are organized and everything, because it's.
Luckily, when they were making those movies, these events were still unfolding, because I think Liotta would have done it, but I'm happier with Leo now.
Aged,
Way happier with Leo.
I mean, this was kind of Leo's like, you should have got an Oscar for that one.
Oh yeah.
But then he got it for The Revenant, which I don't know.
How many Oscars
it was a
he
makeup
didn't get.
award. I felt like The Revenant was a makeup.
Revenant?
Yeah.
Possibly. I feel like they were. I don't even remember. I just know at the time I was like, there were kind of like some better actors that year.
Well, I think big transformations make the Oscars look at you because you have to think actors are voting for actors. So
And he did a lot of serious
matters.
acting against CGI in that movie, right?
That
he
lost a lot of weight.
I don't think a lot of people give enough credit for people who are acting to fucking tennis balls for like almost the whole movie.
Well, I acted to a jar of coconut oil today.
That's
Joe
good.
saw. My eyeline was a jar of coconut oil. I was like, I'm in love with that jar of coconut oil.
Listen, you do what you gotta do. I mean, whatever has to be done. But I think like if we look at like Dallas Buyers Club, Jared Leto and Matt McConaughey both had these huge transformations. They both won Oscars for it.
That's what beat this, right? Dallas Buyers Club beat Wolf of Wall Street.
Might have.
maybe.
I don't know if they were in the same Oscar year. They were one. I don't know if they were 1 year apart.
If they were, then that makes sense.
I thought McConaughey beat him for Dallas Buyers Club that year.
He might have.
But wasn't he also in?
For like 30 seconds.
Yeah, but that's why he was so thin, was because he just came off of Dallas Buyers Club. And he was actually, there's a couple of scenes where he has a little bit more weight on him, a little less weight, because he was gaining weight during the filming. Wow. So, did you want to take a break before going into the facts and stuff like that? You may just
do you want to do Oscars first and then we'll do the break?
Or do we have to do the what was the
Oscars
first time we seen it and our rating?
Yeah, that whole thing. Should we do that right now?
That was kind of where I was getting at, but you guys kind of, went over it and then skipped it,
You asked if there was any fun tidbits.
No,
Hey,
I said
asked
any
questions.
memories or any feelings about the film.
Taj's roommate worked on this movie in locations department, possibly as a locations.
I have 2 fun facts that I want to share. One fact is that Margot Robbie is my spirit animal. And I had a really brief obsession with anytime I see a movie or a TV show where I'm like, who is this actor? Who is their agent? How did they get into acting? What are they doing? And like I go down that rabbit hole of IMDb. And Margot Robbie actually, during the audition process, smacked Leonardo DiCaprio in the face. And like, I guess that's one of the reasons she got the role. And that forever lives in my head rent free. I love that so much.
Yeah.
And
that is actually pretty much probably the reason she did get the role, because it impressed Leo so much, and he turned around and said, "Can you slap me again?"
hot.
He said, like, there's a couple of things that made me go, Leo. Like, not even that, but like, you shouldn't be fucking saying that. Like, this, we're in
I
cancel
mean,
culture.
honestly, if he's like getting in the mindset for the role, fuck it, say it.
No, this is
you know?
like interviews after, like, we're in
This
cancel
is
cancel
Leo.
culture now. You can't say
All
shit.
first team all stick man, dude. Stick man Hall of Famer. He just moves in the night. You never hear anything bad about him. Like Derek Jeter. Him.
Well, there was that time he took
Yeah.
like 30 women on a private jet to go to fucking Coachella or Burning Man or some shit.
How many of them tried to take him to court after?
Zero. None.
Dude's a Hall of Famer.
None. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
like, I'm
great.
not saying that Margot Robbie's going to turn around and be like, "Oh, I wish you didn't say that about me," but I'm just saying,
It's him and
cancel
Derek Jeter.
culture, we got to be a little mindful.
I feel
that's
like
all.
some people. I mean, he's got to do something really bad.
Oh God. Okay.
All
I'm
right,
just gonna
moving
cut
on.
that.
I'm gonna
that
I'm gonna
out.
give this a solid 8.4. I think one of the reasons that keeps it out of the 9s is because the 2.5 hour runtime. We talk about this a lot about how runtime, the actual time doesn't matter so much as how it feels, and I do think this movie feels long. And I think that like you could find 15, 20 minutes to lop off out of that somewhere, or just pick up the pace a little bit.
So when I was watching it, I wanted more.
More
Like the first time I watched it, I was like, "This is fucking
Like,
great.
yeah.
Just keep feeding it to me."
No, I felt that way, but when it ended, I did walk out of the theater feeling like that was a long movie.
Got it.
You know,
Okay.
and part of it's probably that I have this thing where I like to see late night movies. So when you go to see The Wolf of Wall Street and it
Oh.
starts at 9:45, and
Oh, I'm
you-
asleep.
You get out of there at like 1:30 in the morning. It feels like a longer movie that way probably too. But
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when
Yeah.
you work all day.
this
you
is
know,
my
it's
personal
tough.
score. My personal score. I think it's a little long. It keeps it out of the 9s. I give it an 8.4. First time I saw it, definitely in 2013 when it came out, I was in community college at the time. I'm almost positive I went to go see it late at night alone. Walked out of it.
Reasonable.
Well, Nick might have been with me, but
Uh-huh.
loved it. Thought it was great.
Awesome.
Thought it was a little long.
Rating?
I don't know how to rate things properly. I want to say like a 9.
I was gonna give it a
clean
9. now.
9?
Yeah, I
Clean
think
9
a
out.
Straight
clean
on.
9.
Listen, we got good cinematography. We got great directing.
Yeah.
The editing is fucking phenomenal, along with the song choices for pretty much the whole movie.
Incredible soundtrack.
Jonah
The-
Hill's teeth, 10.
Production design and the wardrobe. And then the makeup really caught me off guard this watching, because I realized like throughout the whole movie, Jordan's tan changes. And I was like, oh, they're really playing it like he's just constantly like getting a tan, not getting a tan for a while.
The yachts, the cars, the
Yeah.
glamour.
Like, indeed.
Margot Robbie all
The
day.
Star-studded cast. And
You
the
got
heat check.
Bermuda
from
sodded
A-listers.
grass, Jordan. You're coming here at 3:00 in the morning on my Bermuda sodded grass. You're gonna wake Skylar.
I actually wrote his response down as one of my favorite lines, which is like when she's going off and he's
the
like,
lawn people.
That was
yeah,
like
he's
one of the
oh,
first.
you had to deal with the golf course
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Oh, God forbid, what a Greek tragedy.
Oh, no, you had to make a
Oh,
phone
honey,
call.
yeah. He's
That was like the
God
first
forbid
monologue,
you do
yeah.
more than swipe my credit card. He's like, I can't keep up with your
Yeah.
whatever. He's like,
It's like the first
Oh,
monologue
I
I
want
ever
to
did.
spend more of my fucking money.
Yeah.
What a great tragedy,
his
sweetie.
switch when she walks in the room too, because you could see her walking up, but he can't.
yeah.
And then she comes in and he's like, "Oh, the law! Don't you fucking dare!"
Don't you throw that water. Oh, what? Oh, what, shorty?
Yeah.
She's so good. But I
Daddy's
Stop
not gonna
flexing
get to sleep with mommy for a very, very long time.
that's a great scene, too, because he just turns around and he's like, oh, isn't something odd about
Right? There's
the
like this
eyes?
weird one-upping thing that happens throughout that
Great.
whole morning.
It's
I
Cool.
love it.
Great. I'd probably give this probably a 9.0. I'd even go further to like a 9.2. It's one of my favorite movies, honestly. I think it's smart. I think it's well done. It's a classic Scorsese with his oddball editing when they're high and the crazy.
I have a question
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
everyone. Is there anyone that you would recast?
Oh, we do that at the end.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we have a
Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I think this movie is great. I think it's written really smart. Like I said, it reminds me of people, which is what you want to do when you have a film like this. Like you do want to hit those notes for people who did work in this and people, who or didn't, and they still connect to it. Like you said, the cinematography is great. They use different lenses to cause like different
effects,
feelings.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
Also the
just love
passage
it.
of time.
Yeah, the passage of time, and there's quirky little editing things too that is purposeful, which I love. But I'll get into that after break. So, is there any other quick notes before we take a quick break?
No, let's take the break.
Okay, let's take a break.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
You remember the good old days growing up, being a kid, going to middle school, not having a job?
Mm-hmm.
You had some stuff you had to do, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of chores. Some parents might call them.
I hate it.
Helping out around the house,
Yeah.
This and that. What you have any you didn't like doing the most? What was your least favorite chore?
My least
Your daddy made you do growing up.
Least favorite chore, out of doubt. Scrubbing the kitchen floor with a toothbrush. I hated that.
Scrubbing the kitchen floor with the toothbrush, dude.
Yeah.
Your dad made you do that?
Yeah, it was fucking brutal.
What the fuck, bro? I'm talking about mowing the lawn, man.
I did that too.
Yeah, man, mowing the lawn, it's no fun. And guess what? If you live in Suffolk County, it doesn't have to be a problem anymore.
Why?
Because we could have Next Level Landscaping come take care of it for you. Next Level Landscaping, they specialize in weekly lawn maintenance, as well as fall and spring cleanups, thatching, mulch, seeding, and topsoil. If you live in the Eastern Suffolk County area, you give them a call at 631-739-1121. You speak to Michelle or Tim, and you let them know Hawk sent you. Again, that's Next Level Landscaping, 631-739-1121. Come get your grass cut by some professionals. Don't let Aunt do it with a toothbrush.
All right, guys, and we're back. We're gonna go over like some facts and some fun tidbits and stuff like that. Do you want to start with what you got, or you want me to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll just run down the list here. First off, they scream over the phone at clients. So I was watching that and I was like, how is this a good sales tactic right now? Like when they're about to shut the doors at Jordan's like first day of being a broker, like immediately you just see him in the front like, no, you need to keep your money in. What are you doing? Hello? Fuck. And it's like, that's not how you keep someone on board with something when they're not sure about it. You're showing urgency. Like, that's not a great sales tactic.
Because this is a field at the time that's booming. Everybody wants in on it. Everyone wants their share of the pie. And it's cutthroat. And these guys are all coked up all the time.
I know
so it's
why.
just aggression.
I know
testosterone.
why they did it in a filmmaking sense.
I'm talking
no,
about
in real life.
world
Oh,
stuff.
real world?
Oh, yeah, no,
Screaming
no.
over the phone at
That's
people?
not that. Yeah.
Man, I fucking don't.
On the
I don't know.
on the
you do that with me,
tops,
I'm good. I'm hanging
I
out.
mean, granted, that's an excess. Like, it's not that bit. But, no. Like, the way these guys talk, like, the way I used to hear my father talk, there was a big joke in our family because they said I got my mouth from my father because he was doing stocks in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's the line that he says about, if you want to know what money sounds like, step on the Wall Street floor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fuck this, and it's all, he says all these curse words. That's what it's like.
Yeah,
It
I'd
is
imagine that's like that because you want to like relate to the person and kind of get on their level, right? You want to show like I'm a real guy.
And also too, like, they were dealing with blue collar workers at the beginning. They're dealing with garbage men and stuff like that. And then,
No, I'm talking
Belfort's-
about before the penny stocks.
No,
came
yeah,
into play.
even high end. I mean, if you were dealing with a stockbroker,
Yeah.
you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know the type. It's like a car salesman in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but a high end car salesman.
Yeah.
They talk fast. They
And
do
it's kinda
this,
like
they want
this-
this,
To your point, it is like a display of authenticity.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the sales pitch.
Got
Like
it.
the fucking this, all that, the way that they talk, their
Yeah.
bravado.
Uh-huh.
that's like,
that's like
that's part of the sales
This
pitch.
guy knows money.
Money talks.
Yeah. So secondly, Jonah Hill's pitch to get hired, not convincing. I don't know what kind of value he brought to Jordan Belfort. I don't know why him saying, I sell children's furniture. You have a nice car. Hey, if you show me a pay stub for $70,000, I'll come work for you. And Jordan was like, okay, I guess I could use you. Here's my pay stub. I have no idea what value Jonah brought to the table or why he got brought on board.
I think it was
second
more-
best salesman.
But
Did he sell? No, but fucking he saw him in a diner. He didn't really sell him
Yeah,
on
but
anything.
no. I'm saying he was their second best salesman.
Who?
Donnie Azoff, Jonah.
Not at that time. Not when they met.
Well, you're saying what? I mean, at the time. Well, you're talking about
At the time.
At the time,
Like-
Jordan's selling.
Like what was Jordan? Like
at
what
the
was
time,
Jordan's
Jordan.
incentive?
At the time, Jordan's crushing penny stocks.
Yeah.
At this little bullshit place in wherever they are, Mineola, wherever they are, with
Yeah.
all those slow men who can't really sell anything.
Yeah.
And he sees an opportunity. Getting more people who can sell raises
And he was
his
like,
ultimately
Oh,
raises
this dude
his
does
value.
sell something, and he's talking
He's
faster
in sales.
and more confident.
He's in sales. He's
Yeah.
obviously doing something in this meeting that pitched you. Let's take a shot on it. And what's the worst case that happens?
He
if
basically
doesn't?
cold called him in the middle
What
of
happens?
the diner too.
What
yeah.
happens if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
See you later. He quit his job. Jordan was gonna do this whether he had Donnie Azoff or not.
Yeah.
They have the whole scene where he gets all of his other buddies and he teaches them. That legendary scene where he's
Yeah,
teaching
yeah,
all of his
yeah.
buddies how to make the call.
Yeah, and I
So
know.
he was going, it's like kind of the same, like if we were going to go start a business and we just ran into a guy who was like, yeah, I'm in, let's go. We're like, all right, let's bring this guy
Oh,
in.
just like
What's
you're
the-
dedicated.
Yeah,
Sure. Why not?
you got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. We both want to be fucking rich. Let's go get rich together, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, and not for nothing, like in hiring, if like I meet someone that's like ready to run like that, like I want to know what you do, I want to know how you do it, I want to be like you. It's like you don't find that.
Yeah.
You do not find that type of person. So you're like, and they're willing to quit their job for you if you show them pay stub. It's like, yeah, all right, no problem. Come on board because that's the type of person I want. Because they are willing to do whatever it takes to get to the top. And I need that energy and that behavior to do what I want to do.
If you come up to me in the Massapequa diner, drink a black coffee, tell me that you're going to quit your job right now if you show me a pay stub for 70 grand and
Yeah.
then say, come smoke crack with me, bro. You're hired, dude. You're hired. I'm in. I'm all the way in on that guy.
I guess I'm not thinking of it the
That's
same
the
way.
opening
Because if somebody
cut for
walks,
this podcast.
if
I've
somebody
only
walks up
known
to
this
you-
guy for 30 seconds
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
said, come on, bro, let's go smoke crack. I trust this guy and he obviously trusts me with his fucking life.
You have not
Yeah,
met somebody
I'm
who wants to smoke crack with you.
and I'm sorry.
Not everyone who wants to smoke crack with me. A guy who
I
just
think I'm on the wrong episode.
a guy who just said he wanted to come work for me and then
You're
said,
right,
let's go do
because
crack with me. I'm in.
If you were
Especially
at
in
a
that
diner
business.
and he was like, "Hey, I see you carrying microphone equipment. What do you do?" And you're like, "Oh, I do a podcast." And it's like, "You show me a picture of you in a podcast studio. I'll come work for you right now." You would be like, "Yeah, sure, fucking okay."
Does he have crack? I just might,
Gage,
dude.
you've never been in a hotel and had your equipment and had people ask you questions?
I totally have. That's not what I'm saying. What I was thinking was he didn't provide any value at that time.
Yeah, but it
But
wasn't
now-
about that.
Well,
What?
you
It
could
wasn't
argue that
about that.
his value as a furniture salesman, he's probably the argument here is that he's probably already a better seller than these guys who have
Yeah,
been
it might have
selling
been
the
more of like an
stocks.
ego thing, of more of like puffing some air into him,
100%.
like, oh, this person wants to be like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This argument flipped me.
Okay. I'm glad
This
we
argument-
put
That's what we're here for, brother.
I don't know. I don't remember that part. So.
Skip ahead. Women gets her head shaved for 10 grand.
Yeah.
St. Joseph's.
10 grand.
I would do it.
Was her head really shaved, and how much did they pay her in real life?
Do you have the answers to this?
No. I'm interested.
I can
Because
tell
they
you-
play it like it's a ridiculous thing to do it for 10 grand. But if she really shaved her head, I don't know if they paid her 10 grand for that.
I'd be pissed.
Right?
But I would
they
do it.
as
No.
like from a filmmaking stance, they're showing you like, oh, they're just tossing money away for entertainment, and this woman is just collecting it for shaving her head.
So-
That's pretty crazy.
So let me tell
But
you.
they are doing that on screen for our entertainment, and that real life woman might be shaving her head.
Oh, you
And
mean the actor?
I mean,
Yeah.
the actress, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like in real life. Did this really happen back?
No,
in
no,
the
no,
day?
no, no.
Yeah, she 100% had her head
She
shaved.
100% shaved her head. She 100% didn't
Well,
make 10
I'll say
grand
from an
for it.
actor's standpoint,
She
like
probably got like a PA's day rate.
Might have been.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was just
bullshit.
about to
Fuck
say.
that.
That's what I was
Here's
just
a
about
cool
to say.
SAG, even
Here's
for
a cool
having,
$250 a day.
No, you know,
And we'll buy
I
you a wig.
guarantee you, this is who that actress was. That actress was trying to break in through SAG, and to break in through
She
SAG,
actually
you
looks
know,
familiar.
you need to work on a SAG film. Actually, she might be someone, but I know a lot of models that have shaved their head on
I was gonna
runways
say
and stuff
I
like that.
Yeah,
I
so-
applied to a role.
Really,
Go ahead.
okay. Really, to me, the fact was that like they're playing this in the film. Scorsese's like, oh, I want to have this
It's
moment.
like the irony.
Yeah, I want to have this ironic moment where people are doing things, ridiculous things for entertainment, and you kind of feel bad for this girl because she's sitting there getting her head shaved just for some cash. But then I pulled myself back and I was like, oh, somebody really did that though for cash, for entertainment. And
So
it was
two
They
things
made
on
sure
that.
she was okay.
Two
with it
things
first.
on
A
that.
double entendre? Is that
well,
what those
yeah,
are
but she was
called?
okay in the movie
I
too.
think that's
but
not the right word.
Double entendre
when
is
you're
a word
watching
that
it,
has two
you're-
meanings.
Yeah, that.
we can't all talk at the same time.
Yes, we can.
I have two things on that you just said.
Yeah.
One, everybody who works at Stratton Oakmont's a piece of shit scumbag. They're all in it to make as much money. They all know that they're pump and dumping people. There's not a single person in there that doesn't know that it's a pump and dump scheme.
Yeah.
So they're all scumbags. They're all trying to make as much money as possible. If you told me I want to shave your body hairless for 10 grand, I'd be like, let's go. Where are the clippers?
Yeah.
You know, anybody in there is going to do that to make the money. And the other thing is, true story from that guy I know who worked in the boiler room, where he worked every year for the Christmas party. I forgot what club they went to. One of the strip clubs in Nassau. They booked the whole
Gossip?
place out. No, it wasn't Gossip.
Oh.
Booked the whole place out.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped $2,000 in cash in every employee's hand at the door, and then let me know when you need more money. Have fun. Open bar, strippers, that kind of, and that was just a Christmas party. That was
Whoa.
low end debauchery. So this shit was really happening in real life.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I believe that. That's not necessarily my point. And I think you were catching on my
Yeah, no. As an actress, like,
yeah.
I mean, would you do it?
Well, I was gonna say I know the irony you're referring to because I would love to shave my head for a role.
Right.
You-
But they
like,
make it look in the movie like, oh, I can't believe she's accepting this money.
Right. So
That's
it's
how they
like,
make you feel.
There's a role like, actor must be willing to cut, shave hair for
Yeah.
the role.
Right.
And these are roles that are like $250, $250 over 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like she definitely obviously got paid like SAG rates
Yeah,
and like
of
whatever,
course.
but was it $10,000? Because that's just an ironic fuckery.
That would be,
You
right?
know what I mean?
And then it's like, oh.
Because if you're not paying
like-
her the $10,000, then like, ow, my heart hurts. But
Yeah.
like, I would do it anyway.
I
don't
think
care.
if she got SAG rates, she got over $10,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
I think
the
she's doing
minimum-
well.
I think she's
probably
doing
fine.
She's fine. She's doing
I
better
would
than
shave
we
my
are.
head for the Wolf of Wall Street. I would do it for free.
I would I would pull Jonah Hill if it was a Scorsese film and I had the opportunity. 100. How long am I going to be in the film? I just get to be on set with you for one day.
Oh, I have
I
lines?
bring my own buzzers. I have better buzzers than the ones you use. So like, absolutely. would do it. No, and I had a traumatic experience with cutting my hair short, and I'm still contemplating going back to it. So I would still do it. Absolutely.
Lord.
Real quick, I'll go through some facts. So the Matthew McConaughey scenes were shot in the first 2 weeks of filming, and most of the stuff actually in this film was improvised. Yeah, that was completely improvised. That's actually his get into character, just in general. And Leo looking off screen was him looking at Martin Scorsese like, what do I do? And Marty like, keep going, stay in it. And it was like this weird thing. So
Stay in it, stay in it.
yeah, so pretty much what happened was like once they came out and Leo knew what was happening, he was like, that's great, keep it in. And they used it. And he said it actually set the tone for the entire film, which was kind of cool.
Wow.
Um,
It sets the tone for the entire film as it plays
Yeah.
cinematically as well.
And they said for being the set for the crew, it really set the tone too, which I think was awesome with
That is
that.
awesome.
All the cocaine was crushed vitamin B. And Jonah Hill,
Which Jonah Hill got sick from.
he got bronchitis and was hospitalized from it. Yeah, he had to do so much. Majority of the film was improvised. Jonah Hill took the SAG minimum of $60,000, and Leo was paid $25 million.
Wait, what?
He took the
Jonah just
cut
wanted
to
the
do a
role.
Scorsese movie.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
Wait, can someone explain how that works?
He willingly took that. He said, "I'll take this much
The
money,
minimum amount
the
of
minimum
money.
amount you can
Yeah.
pay me to fit me into the budget because I want to do this movie."
yes. Yeah, and
He
it,
fucking killed
And he
it.
crushed it.
Scorsese
It
actually...
kind of fucking.
I mean,
And
his
got
veneers,
hospitalized.
his veneers in that film alone are like $60,000.
Oh my god.
Probably.
Do you
I have,
think
Close-
those teeth are that expensive?
I have no idea
They're
how much veneers.
It's probably about $20,000.
They're a
$25,000.
fortune.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
Jesus.
expensive.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, hugely expensive. He
Wow.
actually had a bad
Respect.
lisp when he put those in, and he spent 2 hours just calling random businesses and talking to them to try and get used to them.
I love that for him.
During the nude scene with Margot Robbie, this was actually her first nude scene in any movie ever. And Martin Scorsese said she was like, "You could wear a robe if you want." And she said no because the character would never do that, and I want to be authentic as possible. She also said that the the room scene what you just did it with the foot and everything, that it was a lot worse and a lot more uncomfortable before the cutting to get the R rating. So
Oh, they showed full veg, didn't they?
probably, I'm
Nice.
assuming
Can't
it
be
was
doing
probably
that.
a lot.
Gotta rated R.
Leo
Silhouette.
getting into the car was all improvised. Him going down the stairs, all that was him. Him doing the foot thing was completely him. He actually sprained his back doing it, which I thought was hysterical. And I also appreciated when rewatching that how committed as an actor he is. Like he just fully goes in everything he's in, and you have to really appreciate that with him.
You're talking about the whole getting down the stairs to the car.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was improvised. That was all him.
God
Like,
bless
the
his
only thing he
soul.
was told was you have to get down the stairs to the car, and you're in cerebral palsy phase.
Yeah.
So get there how you
Quaaludes
get
just
there.
headshot.
Yeah, get there how you get there. And they did that a lot with a lot of the scenes. The deposition scene is completely improvised, and the editor said that she had trouble getting through them because she was laughing so hard because some of them were 20, 30 minutes long. And she had to pick these little things. And they were completely improvised. The only things they were told was don't tell them anything.
Yeah.
That was it. Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
And they just went on. What was it called? Spielberg spent a day on set with the Madden scene, the Steve Madden scene, where he gets his whole speech.
Mhm.
And Martin Scorsese said he practically co-directed that whole scene.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I just have to say, I just love the friendship of the directors between Coppola, Spielberg, Scorsese,
Yeah. George
Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah, I just love it. It's like one of my favorite things.
That's like one of my favorite stories in all
love it.
movies is the Lucas and
Oh, the don't
Oh,
make
Spielberg?
the-
Lucas and Spielberg
Yeah.
with the Star Wars and
Close Encounters of the
Close
Third Kind.
Encounters of the
It's also
Third
the
Kind, yeah.
actor to director relationship because I know how much I love my relationships with directors or vice versa
Yeah.
and like on such a small scale. So I can only imagine like the feeling being on a set like that and just like even just watching it, being on a set, like just watching how everyone interacts with each other is just so fucking awesome. Well, I'd say fucking, I feel like
No, you can.
Yeah, you
You
can
can
curse.
curse. It's just, you know. The sex scene on the paper money was super uncomfortable, and they both got paper cuts. And that was when Leo, like, that's where I was like, oh, Leo, like, what are you saying things to me for? So Margot said it was so uncomfortable. I got all these paper cuts, and Leo was like, honestly, I didn't really notice I had a naked Margot Robbie underneath me, and that she was all I was focusing on. And I'm like, it's not bad, but it's just like, kind of like makes me.
Wait,
I don't
say
like
that
it.
again? What?
Hey, I don't have the full written line, but the way he worded it was just kind of like, I felt a little.
He said he didn't really notice about
Yeah,
like the discomfort of the paper money and getting paper cuts because naked Margot Robbie was under him, so that's all he was focused on. And honestly, I think
not-
that's fair.
It's not that I know it's
Yeah,
not a bad
sexy.
line, but there was something
Yeah.
about the way it was written, and maybe because it was out of context.
I'm
I was just
interested
like,
to know, like, because I've done a sex scene before, and it was an independent
Sure.
film, so we didn't have an intimacy coordinator. So I really like. I'm so.
I don't think this film had one either.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
I don't think it's
because, well, now this is a recent thing. SAG has enforced you absolutely have to have one on set. But I doubt they had one because
No,
from the
'cause this
sound of it, it
happened-
seems like Leonardo was the intimacy coordinator and Margot was just like, yeah, I'm just going to open my legs. But like, I'm so grateful that I was in a headspace of like, no, I'm not comfortable with that. No, we need, we need the protectors. We need whatever we need.
Yeah.
And we need to choreograph it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just going to let you like fucking, no.
To be
like, we
fair,
got to figure this out, buddy.
if we watch the sex scenes, like if we just take out the sex scenes, they don't look choreographed at all. They look rough. They look. I'm. That's one.
And
thing
then
that
I
did
wonder,
bother
like,
me
I
about
wonder
the film.
about Margot's experience with that because I'm sure she was like, she's committed. So it's like whatever Leonardo and Scorsese wanted or said was probably whatever she did. And although she probably spoke up and made her own character choices, I do wonder like what it's like in those situations because it's such an intense fucking
And
film.
they're awkward.
All the drug scenes and the sex scenes and everything's intense.
Yeah, and sex scenes are just awkward for everyone all around.
Assuming that there's nothing that we don't know and she was comfortable with everything and she had a say in everything and she didn't do anything she didn't want to do, good on her because this movie strapped the fucking jetpack to her back and launched her into the stratosphere.
Yeah, I
So,
think they were pretty
as long as
good.
everything was good in a workplace environment and she was comfortable with everything,
She was really good in Focus too
fucking
with Will
good
Smith.
on her in this role.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was any issues like that because I mean, just alone,
Was that
Martin
before this?
Scorsese
I
What,
think
Focus?
so. It was like
I thought
during.
Focus was after.
I think it was like
No, I thought
happening at the
Wolf
same-
was her first major.
really,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Because
This,
that's
this
awesome. 'Cause
movie
then after that,
literally,
it was
she
like,
was
oh,
the girl
Marvel
from
and
Wolf of
everything.
Wall Street, and now she's Harley Quinn and fucking everything else. Like,
Iconic.
Yeah. I don't think there was any real issues like that. I mean, like I think they are pretty respectful, but this was independently budget funded, so there was no real studio involvement. So that being said,
Wow.
I doubt there was a coordinator on set. I also think Martin Scorsese in some aspects has been like, I've been doing this long enough. I don't need certain
I
things.
also don't think
Right.
intimacy coordinators came around until the
Recently.
Me Too movement.
Fairly new.
Which
Fairly
my
new.
concept of time is a little. I'm like, wait, this is almost like 8
almost a 10-year-old
years
movie.
ago, 10 years
Yeah.
ago. That's insane. What?
Yeah.
No.
All right, real quick, let me bang some of these. Leo wanted to make this since 07 when the book came out, so he's been kind of vying for that. Olivia Wilde was optioned to play Margot Robbie's role, but she was deemed too old, even though she's 10 years younger than Leo. That was a big one. There was another actress, I can't remember who it was at this time, that I was like, really? Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong convinced Belfort to write his book when they were in jail
Oh,
together.
that's fucking right. Yeah.
Yep. That was one of my
Tommy
favorites.
Chong is a fucking treasure.
Yeah.
Dude,
Love
holy
that,
shit.
This was banned in 5 countries because of the sex scenes.
Mhm.
It's the highest grossing film of Marty's career.
Marty.
There's a literal curse count. Fuck is used 569 times. And there's a average of 3.81 swear words per minute. So
Dope.
great things like that.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's keeping the heat.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, they purposely got it funded independently to keep the freedom of the sex scenes and stuff like that, but obviously they still had to cut it down because
Ratings.
No.
they're like, nope, not
Now,
happening.
I don't know if I'm stepping on you or if you do know this or not. Was he still? He was out already by the time they had made this movie, right?
Absolutely,
He had
yes.
signed off on everything. He would have had.
Yeah,
to-
he was a major part of it. Mark Hanna was actually a little upset because he said that he worked with Jordan a lot longer than it shows in the movie. One of
well.
the things that did upset Jordan was that it kind of showed that they did nothing all day. And he's like, I had to have some legit business or else I would have gotten away with it. So as long as I did. So that he's like, but other than that, there's not really many things that bothered him about the movie. He was a big part in it. He was on set a lot. He taught Leo how to act, how he acted on drugs and all those things.
I like that sound clip. Jordan Belfort taught Leo how to act.
Well, because he's acting like him. I
Yeah.
mean, my God, like, you know what I mean,
I know what you
Gage.
mean.
Jeez.
I know
What
what you
is
mean.
eating Gilbert grapes?
After
Does
this-
anybody know?
I'm gonna teach Kat how to.
Oh, I just remembered
Sorry.
who it was that was up for Margot's role. It was Amber Heard. And
Amber
that's,
Heard,
That's
oh
why
my-
I forgot
the
it
fuck
because I
outta here.
don't like her so
Sit
much.
down, Amber.
Apparently, Chris Evans and Jordan.
We need to cancel that bitch.
I know I hate
Chris
her.
Evans?
Chris
What's up?
Evans and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were also both talked about for Jordan Belfort.
No.
But obviously Leo won it. And I honestly, I don't know how I feel
No,
about
no,
that
no,
even
no.
as a fact.
I think Joseph
because-
Gordon-Levitt would have been okay as the Jonah Hill.
That's what I'm wondering because the note,
Maybe.
like the fact.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt just screams
500 Days of
sidekick.
Summer.
Well,
He just has the
Or
sidekick.
rom-com. If it's not a rom-com, I just don't know.
that's like how I feel about the note though, because I'm like, I think they really do mean about the Jonah Hill and not Belfort. I think it was misprinted because that doesn't make sense to me when Leo was optioning this since 07. He was trying to get this made since 07.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds not playing Deadpool. But
Yeah.
he's been involved. So I kind of don't agree with that one. But I think that was pretty
It's a no for
much it. Yeah, it's a no for me. The Fasten Your Seatbelts was shot on an iPhone by the effects supervisor because Marty didn't want to spend more money to set up something. And the effects supervisor was like, we need like an insert like this. And he's like, that's perfect. Send that
Throw
to the
it in.
editor. Yeah.
Sick.
They edited it at Scorsese's house, which I thought was kind of cool, him and
Yeah.
Thelma. So I mean that's pretty much a general of the notes. Anything anyone else gotta say on that?
The
Yeah.
editing process.
They
Oh yeah, the editing process. Crazy.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into that first or you want me to?
No, do that.
So the editing process was purposely they had like quirky things like continuity issues
Oh, yeah.
or things of like that because they wanted to show how drugs were fucking him up and messing him up. The same with the makeup. The makeup was always different and off because it was showing his instability.
Yeah.
And so they did a lot of things like that.
Isn't it a lot of like focus and in and out of focus shit with that too.
That's
with the drugs.
different lenses that they're specifically using.
Yeah, and
they're
I
using
think that's
curved
during
lenses
the
versus.
But that they're using it
Yes.
to
to
That's
do that.
during like the
Yeah.
fucked up scenes to kind of distort the world around him.
Yeah.
But even outside of the like really fucked up scenes, there's still like huge continuity issues. I mean, a bunch of jump cuts, but that's for effect, and that's
Yeah, but the
Whatever.
continuity issue was specifically to show his lapse in memories.
Or that's just what they tell you.
well, you know
Hey,
what?
They
I'm
just
gonna
they were
take
just
it.
all actually really fucked up the whole time, and they were like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It could be that, but he saved himself with that comment, so
Yeah.
we'll take it as face value. I'm not gonna question him.
However much champagne's in the glass is fine
yeah,
for this
because
take.
like there's the scene where he's in the car with Margot Robbie, and his wife comes over, rips him out the car, and she's screaming at him. And every cut they make, the car is in a different spot.
Right, but also
Like,
think of
what
how
kind
much
of
cocaine
car?
he just snorted.
No, I know. I'm
Yeah,
agreeing
yeah.
with you.
So,
I was
like-
just pointing out a continuity thing.
Yeah,
But like the car's gone, and then it's there, and then it's moving, like it's leaving, and it's just like so inconsistent.
see, I kind of like. I don't mind that. I think being that he just literally snorted like an eighth off of.
I don't
Margot
mind it because I'm
I
not
mean-
focused on the car. I don't give a shit.
a
I'm
lot of
focused on-
movies that don't have the
action.
guys of the main character being on cocaine all the time have way worse continuity
true.
issues. So I'm okay with it, even if it's not intended all the time.
I don't think it
Or
was
operating-
intended to like.
You're
I don't think
operating-
I don't think that scene in particular was intended.
right, but
See,
since
I
since
disagree,
you're operating
though.
under the umbrella of we're
You think they were
watching
like,
this through Jordan's eyes, coked up, and his life is spiraling,
Yeah.
and everything's fucking here and there.
So
It's
you
okay.
think in production, they were like, okay, for this shot, we're gonna have the car wait 10 seconds and then start to drive away.
No,
and
no,
in this
no.
shot, we're gonna have the car wait 30 seconds and then drive away.
No, I think in editing,
I think the
they
shoot
sat down and said, "This is a smart." Either Marty turned around and said, "I want to make it show how drugged up he is," or Thelma turned around and said, "Wait, this is a better idea. What if we take different shots of different angles and this and that, and when the car is in different spots to show he is so messed up in his mind that he can't keep shit straight?" Because this is the first time I ever watched it through that I said, I actually kind of like that. Because watching it through all the times I've seen it, I was like, I hate continuity issues.
I think they just focused on performances and picked the best parts regardless of the surroundings.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be fair too.
Because that's something that's been in the past. in
because
all
I
of
feel
his
like this was
films.
probably such a hard film to get through. And like everyone was probably so exhausted and majority probably actually coked up. So like I do wonder.
I mean, I know with the improvising, like with what's it called, the show that you like, New Girl improvises a lot. They do multiple camera setups, so they only have. So just from what I saw the one day, they had 3 camera setups. They had a crane, they had a still, and then I think they had another one shooting in a different direction.
What scene was that?
3 is
It's
nothing.
one of them. No, it wasn't. It was him walking across the street with cars zooming by.
Oh,
and
you're
it's
talking about
in
when you were watching.
I'm saying when I was
in real
watching
life.
in real life, I saw 3 cameras rolling.
Oh, got
So
it. Well, typically
just-
they'll have like 2 or 3 cameras on set just to have them like backups
Right, but-
and shit.
Right,
so
but not necessarily rolling. Like
not
they-
necessarily rolling. But if you have a quick scene where you got to shut down the city block for a little bit, and it's just somebody walking into a building, yeah, why not set up 3 and then get the angles at the same time?
But also as an improvising director, you know to have multiple setups.
Yeah.
Because for you, for instance, you improvise. If I'm filming you and you're gonna improvise with him, why would you want to do that multiple times when I could do 2 cameras on you, get the coverage, and that's gonna be as natural as possible,
Right.
as organic as possible.
That's
It's-
the only way to do it.
Exactly. So I think that
You'll never catch that moment again.
No, you won't. It's near impossible to recreate. So that's just my preference on it. My take. But you could be right too. They could have just looked at it and said we messed up.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
we
they
all
didn't.
been
They,
there.
I don't
Tell
think they thought
everyone
about.
it
I don't
was
think they thought about
for-
messing up or anything. I just think they were like, okay, this is the best performances. Let's just let the scene play out the way we want it to play out, focusing on what's in focus in the camera, and the background shit, like, that's forgivable.
I have a feeling that concept came up in editing, where they were looking at it and going, "Yeah, we was drugged up though, so who cares?
Okay.
Who's gonna notice?"
Oh,
Listen. I mean, haven't you done it with an editor before? I mean,
Well, where they're editing and I'm talking.
No,
And I'm
we-
just like, oh, let's just make sense of this thing real quick.
yeah,
Yeah,
I make
sure.
sense of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll turn to somebody and be like, I'm a fucking genius.
That's what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And he goes, "That's why I'm Martin Scorsese." Like, that's it. Yeah.
Real quick,
Yo.
real quick before we go to break, you say that show I like you don't like it too.
No,
what?
but I knew you would come up with the name of it faster than I would. and you came up with
Before
it.
we go to break, I do have some more points.
Go ahead.
When describing the lewds, Jordan Belfort's narration says they were developed by an Indian doctor. That's dots, not feathers. Loved it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
rough line.
Just want to point
Yeah.
that out. Get Emily to a little twisted.
You know, we do this in the next after the break. All the quotes and stuff like that.
And then, yeah, but that wasn't my
Okay.
good quote. The quote, who, what are you, a fucking owl?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
improvised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in a lot of fucking
Who?
things.
Who?
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking owl?
That's in Heat. If you go on YouTube, there's
That's-
like a montage of movies.
I
that say
forget
that.
who said
All
it.
Scorsese movies.
I don't know. No. They're like just different movies throughout history.
I
Yeah.
forget who said it, but someone said that it was improvised because of that.
Al Pacino said it
Yeah.
in Heat.
Mhm. And because of Heat. It was I think Margot Robbie was like, yeah, we did that because of Heat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we got
Then,
two
yeah, my next one has to do with cinematography. So
Cinematography and editing coming up after the break.
Are you ready to experience the dark and macabre? Look no further than Tiger Pack Productions. Tiger Pack Productions, independent film company by our friends Emily and Vincent. They started back in 2018. They've done a few short films, The Attack and Flora's Daughter. Award-winning at dozens of festivals. This company's on the rise. They're just getting started. So why don't you guys give them a follow on their Instagram and Facebook at Tiger Pack Productions, and go to their website, www.tigerpackproductions.com, and see their entire catalog of products and what they offer. They're really cool people. You should check them out.
All right, and we're back. I guess we'll start with. Do you want me to go over the awards real quick, the Oscars and stuff?
Yeah,
like
I'll
that?
do the Oscars right
Okay.
now.
So the only Oscar, actually, they didn't even.
What
win an
Oscar was that? What year was it?
I don't even remember honestly.
2013 or
Yeah, it's
2014 Oscars?
No, 2013 was the year. It was December 2013. Might be 2014 Oscars. But the only thing they won was for Best Actor. That was for the Golden Globes. But they were nominated for Best Actor for the Golden Globes. I'm sorry, Best Picture for the Golden Globes and the Oscars. And then they're also for Best Actor, Best Supporting, Best Directed, and Best Adapted Screenplay for the Oscars. Those were. So no wins. No Oscar wins. But
no production design.
no, I that was a really big year. Though there was a couple of years in that run that were like massive. Like 2013,
Hollywood is just throwing
14,
fucking
15,
hitters,
and
dude.
16 had these crazy Oscar years.
Yeah.
Best Picture was 12 Years a Slave. Best Director is Alfonso Cuarón for
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Best
Best
Actor Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyer Club. Best Actress Kate Blanchett in Blue Jasmine.
Supporting was Leo.
Supporting
Or
Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers.
Yep.
Actress Lupita Nyong'o, 12
12
Years a
Years a
Slave. Original screenplay Her. Adapted
Lot of heat, dude. Lot of
adapted
heat this year.
screenplay 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
Well, then American Hustle same year. They won like nothing. They're in there for original
Which I-
screenplay. and
Science of it.
American Hustle, like, could
Captain Phillips is in that
could
year.
have and maybe should have gotten cinematography. Like that movie was
Did they do a lot of handheld stuff in that movie?
no, it was all Steadicam.
Oh, okay.
And
I never
like,
saw it.
so
but
they made like 360 lighting setups because they wanted to be able to move around the actors in the room
that's dope.
without seeing things. Yeah.
So Gatsby won production design. I don't know if you said that.
I didn't, but yeah, that makes
Oh
sense.
no, Gatsby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's-
Gatsby won
Yeah,
production
yeah, yeah.
design. Cinematography was Gravity. Makeup and hairstyling Dallas Buyers. Costume design Great Gatsby.
American Hustle was nominated. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Visual
Okay.
and film editing both
That's a
Gravity.
gimbal on top of
So
one.
Gravity
If
conquered.
it wasn't a gimbal and just the camera, that would be Steadicam.
Oh my god, I love this video.
Thank you.
What were we saying?
I said Gravity won.
Best special effects.
Cinema editing.
Oh, it did
and-
win
Yeah,
cinematography.
yeah, it won both of them.
Because that's when people were like, "Bad." So
Gravity
green.
took home a lot of awards. Now that I just read them all back.
Yeah.
I remember
Gravity.
Gravity
Chivo
winning.
won his first award, I think. Chivo is the Emmanuel Lubetsky, something Lubetsky. I'm forgetting his name now. He is a cinematographer, but it's fucking awesome. He shot Children of Men. If you
Alright.
know that movie,
Yes,
which we
that's
should
right.
do because
That's
that's
right.
awesome.
Children of Men.
Yeah, you
Watch
gotta
it.
see
I'll
that.
watch it. I'll watch it. We can do it next, dude. We'll,
Dope.
we'll schedule the time before we leave today, and I'll watch it before we schedule next.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want to go through awards?
Ours.
Yeah.
Best actor. All right. Best actor. I mean, nominees are obviously Leo, Jonah, and Margot. I think those are the 3 finalists, and I'm giving it to Jonah. You guys, please state your case. I mean, I think just you can make the case for any 3 of them, and I'll be fine with it. I think Jonah was like the most wow.
Yeah.
Margot was still, when you're watching the movie, that girl from Wolf of Wall Street, and then she transcended. Jonah, it was like, wow, we're actually seeing this new face of Jonah now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
I'd give
voted
it to
Jonah
Jonah.
Hill. I voted Jonah Hill.
I give it to Jonah.
I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, think of those teeth alone. You're an actor. Think of wearing those teeth.
You've been raving about Jonah this entire podcast, and now when it's his time to shine, you refuse to anoint him the
Because
best
I
actor.
just, I think I just like, it's just, I want to vote for myself, you know, because I was just like miscast.
A 17-year-old Katie Girardi. was
Not even Katt. I was
Katie
Katie
Girardi.
I had a BlackBerry.
And black
okay,
fangs.
fine. I'll give it to Jonah Hill. But like
Reluctantly.
Margot and Leo, like, hello.
I mean, I think everyone. It's very hard.
You
to
get an
pick.
award. You get an award.
It is. I mean, even Rob Reiner in the small part he's in is Mad
Well,
Max.
which is a great transition to the next award, the Heat Check Award. Do we have to explain the heat check to you?
Yes.
A heat check is it's a sports term, but it's like in a basketball game, somebody who only plays like 10 minutes, but they have a huge impact on the game. So little amount of screen time, most wow. You know what I'm saying? So Matthew McConaughey as Mark Hanna, he is a nominee for it. Rob Reiner is a nominee for it.
I almost think Rob Reiner's in it too much.
I'm going to give it to Brad.
John.
Yeah.
Cam or whatever.
Yeah.
He's
He's a fucking phenomenal actor. And like, I just believe that character more than maybe anybody else in that movie.
The reason that I want to say that it needs to go to McConaughey is because every time you talk about this movie,
Yeah, I know you got to do the
at least 3 people do
Trust
that
me,
thing.
it would be McConaughey
And
for me if it wasn't.
Everybody thinks because of that scene that McConaughey carries way more weight in that movie and is in that movie longer.
Yeah.
People who have only seen it once or twice and haven't seen it for 5 years, they forget that he's only in the movie for total screen time 7 minutes, maybe.
It's only he's only in like the first 20
maybe
minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's the first thing everyone fucking talks about when they talk about this movie. It's the Quaaludes and him crashing the car and that thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it should be McConaughey. But Brad's cool too. I'm okay with it.
I don't remember anyone else except for
There was the
Matthew,
marching
so-
band leader who just held a sick smile. Jesus.
Yeah, and I say Matt McConaughey, but my MVP I think is Rob Reiner. Just the opening when you first meet him and he's watching The Equalizer and he's like had a harebrained trigger.
Yeah.
He's like even the phone ring. He's like, God damn it, who's
I
calling?
wait all week to watch The Equalizer.
Yeah, don't you know it's a Tuesday night?
Who calls on a
Don't
Tuesday?
answer that phone.
Shit.
You're
I think
gonna miss it. He's like, what do you think? I know I'm gonna miss
like
it.
we all know someone like that. And I think we've all felt that way as well.
I've definitely been mad.
We
Max
all
at
know a
work
person
enough
like that.
times.
He's a host on this network on Parlez-Vous. His name's Anthony Alessino.
True. I mean, definitely. He's got a hairbrained trigger.
Yeah.
So I guess best worst scene.
Yeah, either your favorite scene or your least favorite scene, whichever stuck out the most to you. I guess we've already talked about the hair shaving enough where it's got to be a nominee. The little person tossing, they do that in this movie, right?
Yes.
The little person tossing has got to be in there.
The
I-
stairs to the car.
The opening part where he goes, I smoke weed to calm me down, coffee to get me back up, cocaine for the nerves.
Yeah.
That whole
Morphine
thing-
just because it's great.
Yeah, because fucking I love morphine. Like that whole thing where he's doing
Yeah.
that, that's probably in there for me.
that whole progression right there is like the sauce.
That's
for
like
me.
your real
That's like the
introduction
sauce
to
for me in
Jordan.
Goodfellas.
Yeah. I'll take introduction too.
Introduction.
The
If you want to.
introduction?
Yeah.
I would have to say my favorite scene is it's like multiple scenes. It's the start of them taking the lemons when they're watching like Family Matters or whatever it is, and they look
The
at each other.
whole that's got to
to-
be like what, like a 30-minute
Yeah,
situation.
to him saving Jonah Hill's life. And he's just like, ah!
That
And then
kind of is like a super pivotal point too. Like
It's-
just movie wise, it's like
it's one
I mean,
of
storyline
probably
wise.
the greatest scenes in cinema history.
The drug stuff
Yeah.
is so hard to watch in
And,
this
like-
film because it is so intense and it's so like real, and like the actors are going through it. Like you said, like
Yeah.
the whole like getting down the stairs thing, like Leo did that.
Yeah.
Like that was a choice. That was a commitment. Like the whole lemon progression,
It's great.
I would say, is just it
Well,
for me.
To piggyback on the lemon deal, when you said they're sitting there and they take the lewds and they're watching Family Matters or whatever, and then they look at each other after a while. They look at their watch, look at each other, and they go, "Should we take another?"
Yeah.
And if you know anybody,
If you've ever taken
if you
acid
know
and you
anybody-
didn't eat quick
yeah.
enough.
if you know anybody who's experimented with psychedelic drugs, or you have yourself, everybody has that fucking moment,
Yeah.
like 45 minutes in. But it's a little different because these were expired drugs, so they
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
sure. But yeah, everyone, if
No,
you,
you
if you
take
know
acid,
anybody
you
who's
wait
done acid
30
or
minutes.
mushrooms,
When he
And then you take
can't
another, and
get
then
the
2 hours
phone.
later,
But
you're like, fuck.
I honestly think, to piggyback on that, the best thing about that is he literally looks at him and he says, "It's been 35 minutes," which everyone knows. The only thing that is 30 minutes is, if it's not by 30
well, what do
minutes,
they
you
what do
gotta
they
start
they say in the
questioning it.
movie how long it should take for them to kick in? But I
It only
didn't
takes
watch
about
it
like
today.
15 minutes or something
That
like that.
he says, but he says
I
since
forget.
they're expired and this and that. I think it's like 20 minutes or something.
That entire scene has you like this. Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna
From the
happen?
minute he falls back and he's like, "I discovered a new phase, cerebral palsy phase."
Oh my God.
Like, so
Also,
bad.
another just great scene, but not as talked about, when Rob Reiner's like going over their budget, the Amex budget.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
400
What's E&J Entertainment?
Yeah, he's
You
like,
strippers, Jordan?
Yeah.
$26,000 on
on
sides.
sides?
These sides better cure cancer. They actually do. That's exactly what they did. That's why they were so expensive. And he starts going after them. I've been there. I mean, like, not obviously that, but
Well.
just been like,
Not there.
no, but as like a manager of seeing numbers of being like, what is that? Why did you
Yeah, we were
go?
talking about like the lace front wig alone for the head shaving scene would have cost $10,000.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
that-
like you look at things and you're like,
Yeah, or like when something breaks in the shop, and I'm like, do you realize how much money that costs? Like, that's coming out of your paycheck, so you're not getting paid.
background's
for
getting
weeks.
120 over 8.
But
now.
so this is the exact opposite in the sense that they're making money hand over fist faster than they can spend it, so nobody gives a fuck. But Rob Reiner isn't the person making all of that money and not giving a fuck, so he's the one coming in and looking at it and going, "Yo, are you aware of this? Are you aware of this?" And they're all just like fucking smoking cigarettes in the office, which it's the late 90s at this point, so
It's
they
completely okay.
everyone would have done that. But like flicking the cigarette in the office, the doors open, the door shut, they're throwing little people against the wall. Like, why would we give a fuck if we spent 12 grand on strippers last week?
Well, the other big thing that Rob Reiner's job was as Mad Max the Equalizer was to curb things like that, because that was getting the FCC and the FBI to say, whoa, spend $26,000 on a dinner. One, how are you able to do that? How are you making that money so fast to be
Yeah.
able to spend it like that? So that is red flags to the government, which his whole job was
there
to
was
curb.
there was a perfect storm of things that in the movie that highlighted the government. It was the Forbes article came out, which made every fucking day trader in the tri-state area flock to Stratton Oakman to try to get a job. That was the first thing that put the FBI on, like, what the fuck's up? Then the Steve Madden IPO, they were like, let's go get this guy. Because at that point, it was like, where's this money coming from? And that's when he was trying to hide it in, in the Swiss bank and all the shit. And it just ultimately didn't end up working out for him. But it's it's greed. It's the number one flaw in humans.
Yeah, 100%. I think another great scene too is when they're trying to get to Switzerland and they're on the boat and the hurricane comes and he's like, "Get the lewds. I'm not dying sober."
Hell yeah.
That is such a great line. So what's our consensus, you guys?
I think
Best
you
and
might have
worst?
sold us
scenes?
on the whole lemon sequence. I think you might have sold us on that.
Sequence, that's
Yeah.
the word.
It had
Yeah,
a
it really
lot-
is a sequence.
The thing is that sequence has a big charge as far as like pivoting point of the story.
It's a
Yeah.
pivotal part of the movie, yeah.
And not only is it as like prolific as the Matthew McConaughey scene and the fucking stripper scenes, but it also has that like pivoting moment.
It does too,
So
because
that
you're
belongs.
you're right on that, because he makes a choice there to save Jonah Hill's life, because you see it in his eyes where he's sitting there going, "I could let you die after all this shit, like everything that's happening is now because of you, because Brad's in jail, they're tapping our phones. I could let you die."
Yeah.
And then something clicks. It's actually her screaming, "He can't breathe. Do something that gets him to like start going again," which I thought was this. Not the first time I noticed it, but this first time it like really registered to me, like, oh, as an actor, I saw in his eyes him make that choice, like, which is very difficult to portray.
It's also, this whole sequence is you don't see it in a lot of movies. It's like the rare double climax. Like, it kind of, in any movie that should be the climax of the movie, but it's like a little peak and then we keep going up because it's not quite the end. You know, it feels like it should be the climax of the movie. Because then there's the whole deal where he starts turning people in and he slips Donnie the note. So there's like a double peak going on at the end of the movie.
Actually, we got the Mrs. Robinson scene too.
The which scene?
Mrs. Robinson.
That apparently took 27 takes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what part? It's a montage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant specifically when he kisses Aunt Emma. Or, like, they have that weird thing.
Oh, no, Mrs. Robinson, the police raid. Oh, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
You're talking the song. I went to The Graduate and, like, did a comparison of films there for a second. I got you, sorry.
Yeah.
See, that's funny that you go all the way back to The Graduate because I go to American Pie.
I guess that's...
Finch and Stifler's mom. It's literally the Mrs. Robinson trope.
Yeah. Which is from The Graduate.
Yeah, I know it's from The Graduate, but I think Finch and Stifler's mom.
I'm also the person that quotes...
So we're all in on the lemon sequence?
I'm on the lemon sequence, yeah.
Lemon? Okay.
Quotes?
Yeah.
How did Leonardo DiCaprio move his body like that? Did they film it in slow
When he
motion?
was dancing?
No, when he's falling down the stairs to get to the car.
I think that was a dummy. I don't even think that was a stunt person. I think it started with a stunt person.
I think there's something when he's trying to like reach for the phone or like there's something about him reaching. He's trying to reach the phone, right? The phone's ringing, or he's trying to get to the phone to call.
Yeah,
he pulls himself up. He drags himself up the steps in the a subway station or something? Where does he go to the landline?
The country club, and then he rolls down the steps. Which I think the person rolling was a stunt double, and then there was a shot they had that literally looked like a dummy. It looks like a dummy's body hitting the ground. And then it's Leo.
But then with the phone, he like drags himself up by the payphone, pulls it out, and like just like fucking barely gets the money in, barely dials, and as he's dialing, he falls again. Yeah. Right? He doesn't fall again after he's died, because then they're going, Jordan.
No. He's on the phone.
And he falls when he's on the phone.
Yeah, and then he can't, he's on the ground and he's literally reaching for it, and he's just like doing one of these, and then he just collapses. Because he realizes that he's like, this is a new phase I've never been in. And then he just rolls and starts on his stomach, army crawling to the stairs. And then he's there for a solid 2 minutes, staring at the stairs, contemplating, rolls down, tries to, like, crawls to the car, tries to reach for it, can't, flips himself on his back in this weird angle, gets his foot up, then sprains his back as his foot goes all the way up. Hears the phone ring, foot drops down, and then you see him trying to pull himself physically into the car with the door falling on him. So half his body's in the car. You hear her screaming at him. Mm-hmm. He's like, because Donnie's on the phone. She's like, Donnie's on the phone. No one's making sense. And she's like, get him off the phone. And she's like, I can't understand you. And he just keeps saying, she's like, just get home. I can't understand you. I don't know what's happening. Just get home, Jordy. And then he's like, oh, God. He's like, get him on the phone. And it's like the worst thing ever. And then you see him and he's like I didn't get a scratch in the car, this and that.
It's the underbite for me. He's like,
yeah.
I think so specifically. Which, like, if you've ever participated in like any version of under the influence driving, which we can cut this out, but you know that like that's how you're driving.
That's the focus.
You're like, oh my God.
You've never been so focused in your life.
The longest drive ever.
And you wake up the next day with like a quesarito in your front seat.
5 miles an hour.
Yeah. Like, get off the road. So going around him. Yeah, I think it's great. Him trying to trying to like hook Jonah Hill's foot, and then watching the guy, what's it called, doing the Popeye eating the spinach, and then he reaches for the cocaine.
Oh yeah.
It's not even words.
That was a really good fucking juxtaposition right there.
Oh, amazing. There's like no words in that scene, and it's still like,
yeah.
Just the nonverbal is the best quote. But I think the best quote is "Sell me this pen." It's the most quoted line. It's the most.
Sell me this pen.
It's the most. Yeah, everyone knows "Sell me this pen." I mean, even if you don't know "Sell me this pen," if you ask someone like my dad, "Sell me this pen," and then say Jordan Belfort, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this, that, X, and Y." He knows it.
Hey, write your name down.
Yeah, it's a classic. I actually, in a sales job, in an interview, had to sell a pen.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did you say write your name?
I sure did. And I did. I was a manager. It was Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah.
I had to sell a pen and I had to sell a stapler. And
2004.
And they are no longer in business.
not that old.
their
Yeah,
stuff.
no. Yeah, had to do the sell the stapler, and it was, oh, do you need it? How are you carrying those papers? And he's like, oh, I guess I don't have a paperclip because I hit the paperclip. I saw it. I was like, how you carrying those papers? And of course, all these guys around me, and I'm a cute 19-year-old girl. I'm like, can you write your name? You know, thanks to my dad. Any other good quoted lines?
Who? What are you, a fucking owl?
That's
Bermuda
a good one.
sodded grass.
The hell? Oh no! What a great fucking tragedy,
Oh, I
sweetie.
haven't-
You had to talk to the guy.
Yeah, it goes, oh my God, you had to deal with the golf course people too. What a Greek tragedy. Oh, honey.
I like McConaughey talk about how he needs to jerk off more.
Yeah, how many times
And
did
then
you
he's
jerk off?
like,
I don't know, once.
He's like, this isn't a tip. It's a prescription.
Yeah. Those, you could argue that
I've
probably
seen people
too.
implode.
Yeah, you could probably argue that's a great line too. The gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. That's quoted all the time.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, which is not, I don't think was one that was quoted, is there's no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man and I choose rich every fucking time.
Yeah, that's a home run.
I love that line.
There's that, him going off about what drugs he uses. Honestly, I don't think I could pick a quote for this movie. I'll opt out.
Okay. Fair.
Opt out. A lot of
I'll
quotes.
give you one more good one. Let me give you some legal advice.
Oh, go.
Shut the fuck up.
Honestly, I might go with the whole, oh no, you had to talk to the golf course people. Like that, because I lost it when that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Oh no, sweetie, your life is so hard.
Yeah. I like, yeah, I've never been a fan of the bush.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Oh my God. I was crying rewatching that scene. It's so good. Everyone's shaved now.
Yeah.
Hairless.
Yeah.
Like a
From the
baby.
eyebrows down, nothing.
He's like, really? Really? Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
It's like, bush never bothered me.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 70s, it was everywhere.
Yeah, that's a great, the beginning of it too. He's like, yeah, like 1 week. He's like, everyone's got bush. And next week, hairless.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what happened.
So good.
Yeah.
So,
There's Pam christening the elevator.
oh, and then he ends up marrying her.
And then getting double teamed by Donnie and Jordan, and
Yeah.
then he ends up marrying her.
Yeah.
And then kills himself 3 months
3
later.
months. No, 3 years later, which is
Yeah.
that was a crazy little like
Right?
dark
It's like, yeah, he
scene
killed
out of
himself 3 years
nowhere.
later. Anyway.
The picture, everything. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that was hard Goodfellas. He could not escape
Yeah.
it. He was like, I need some blood
He
in
was like,
this.
I need gruesome shit.
I need
Killed
someone
himself,
dead.
and it is what it is, and we're moving on.
Yeah, that's it. It's there. It's gone. So what do you?
Quote?
Yeah, you going with the Greek tragedy one?
Yeah.
All right, I could say that one. That was a great line. That whole scene's great with the water and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But any other feelings on this movie? Before
Whoa.
Oh, also there's
Oh, right,
hold on,
that's right.
hold
I'm
on,
sticking with
hold
quotes
on.
Wait, there's
here.
a
Are you
word.
Hold
moving
on.
I
We need to
forgot.
do the Kristen Stewart.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I got one more quote for
Bad
you.
acting award.
He's got a
Okay.
quote.
Hit me with the quote.
Here's a year's salary. Here's a year's salary.
Oh, it's a coupon.
Yeah, these are fun coupons.
Yeah, fun coupons.
Yeah.
Like, that was-
Hold on, I found this in my pocket. It's a year's salary. I call them fun coupons.
That is great. The Kristen Stewart, I don't know, award for bad acting. I was trying to think about it on the way over here if we had one, because not all movies have one.
It's got to be
but-
one of the friends.
No. Hear me
You don't
out.
think so? Or-
Kyle Chandler,
Which one is Kyle?
the FBI detective.
Really?
On
You
the
know
boat,
what?
on
I
the
was
yacht?
thinking he was on the better side of.
I
the people
just
in the
we
film.
just sat here and talked about this movie for a good 82 minutes ish, and we've barely said 2 words about him or his performance.
How about
or
John
about-
Favreau?
His performance wasn't bad though.
It wasn't, but neither was that guy's.
Yeah, I don't think his performance was bad. I actually think he did a good job, but I don't think he should be talked about. Honestly, it's not about the FBI. It's about Jordan.
He's talking
I'm not. I
about
don't mean the
the-
character. I mean the performance.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the actor's fault. I think
So,
it's
do you have
great.
one? Who would you give it to?
Probably
The
his
butler.
first wife.
The first
Nadine.
wife.
Yeah, or Jonah Hill's wife. Jonah Hill's wife doesn't bother me as much as his first wife bothers me. And she's the How I Met Your Mother.
Who?
His first wife is the same actress as How I Met
Kristen
Your Mother.
Milioti. How I Met Your Mother. There's like
The-
4 women in that show. The mother, Kristen
Yeah,
Milioti.
who ends up being the mother.
Kristen Milioti. Yeah, she's not a great actress.
I would say her. She's tough.
I didn't even know that she was in that movie.
Yeah. Well,
So there you go.
But I see the one scene that she redeems
a while
herself
since
is when
we've
she
seen it.
finds him in the limo.
Yeah.
I think she did
she loses
really
it.
good job at that scene.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole, like the beginning, like she just kind of annoys me. Her accent's a little rough. Not that Margot Robbie's isn't, but yeah, I would say her. But it's a tough choice. It's like it's hard
It
to
is.
say.
Because then
anyone.
you got the Avesta Center guy when he first interviews for the job.
No, I think that guy's great. I
He
think
was.
it's exactly how it's supposed
No,
to
he
be.
was. I'm just thinking because there's so many people throwing fucking heat in this movie. I really don't.
Yes, yeah, but I
Like,
think
know
he
what a
nailed
big-
who he was supposed to be versus she didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like
It's fair.
I'm just gonna throw out names. Not that they had a bad performance, but there's Aunt Elma. There's a Swiss banker.
Jock.
John Jock.
Jean
yeah.
Jacques. Jean Jacques.
Which I had to know about his scene too.
Somebody tapes the money to their body, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Margot
his-
Robbie and
Brad's
Right?
her
wife.
fam.
No, it's Brad's
Oh
wife.
yeah, that's right, Brad's wife.
Yeah, the Slovenian hooker.
Yeah, because they have European passports.
Yeah. That's
There's so many scenes.
I'm gonna give it to the
There's-
helicopter pilot for worst
I
acting.
was just about to bring him up. That's so funny.
His
you
facial
say that.
expression was ass.
That's so funny you say that.
I don't even think he was definitely under 5. I don't think he had a line though.
He did. You're gonna kill us.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, you were gonna crash. It's something like that. It's when he's like so doped
Yeah.
up and he's.
There's the butler who I think could have been better.
That's fair. I'll give it that because at one point he has a British accent, and another part he doesn't, which I don't know.
Oh, that's right. He was being extra formal. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
thought
then-
you'd like the change in music.
Yeah, but then he's getting beat up and he's speaking
And he's
as
like,
a New
"No,
Yorker.
I didn't take your fucking money."
Right, and then all of a sudden he's getting dragged out and he has an English accent again, but it's Cockney that time. So
He's Cockney that time?
Yeah, he jumps
He switched? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he
gets
jumps
a good,
around.
Never mind. He's
You're
back in my
right.
good graces.
Is that
So-
what we're going with?
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. I'm cool giving it to Kristen Milioti. Her, though, because he just said he's out on the helicopter drive.
It's so
I
interesting
thought we were
to
on the
think about,
butler.
like
He just said he's out on the helicopter
No.
drive.
I said the butler.
Oh, the butler.
That's
rather,
where
he's
I
out.
was with the butler.
Butler's back in my good graces for that accent change. I think that was a deliberate
Hmm.
choice, and I appreciate that.
So
it's interesting to think about how much
Move on to Katt, please.
bad acting is not the actor's control, because the actor could have given their best performance and had 3 goof takes, and they went with the goof take.
Yeah.
Like last night on set
it's a
alone, I was
bunch of
watching
things.
I was watching the actor give a speech, and he fudged up the speech like a few times, but he's like, cut and retake, whatever. Let's go in for another take. But like they could, it's all out of your hands. You could just perform your best, and then once it gets into the editing room or whatever, or the post production, like it's just really, you kind of got to give it up to God at that point, because they might choose something that might have all these other better aspects, but you could just be changing your accent, and they don't care. They don't care.
we had this whole conversation in our Wonder Woman 1984 pod talking about how none of the acting was good in it, but it wasn't Gal Gadot's fault. It wasn't. There was you could have put the best acting performances in that movie, and it still would have sucked because the writing was flat, and it was paced terribly. And we talked about it. You can see a point in the movie where Gail just gave up. You
Yeah,
can see
it's
it.
bad.
And have you
Yeah.
seen this movie, Kat?
No.
You can see at a certain
don't waste
point
time.
where she just gave up, just flat out threw it under the bus. But we already did an hour and a half on how bad that movie
Yeah,
was.
I'm honestly at this point in my life, like I think it's being brought up at work to purposely piss me off, and I'm like, do you guys enjoy me raging now? Because like I'll start Hulk smashing shit.
Who directed Wonder Woman?
Patty
Patty.
Jenkins.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins.
Because this is a random digression, but I just rewatched A Star Is Born the other day, and after Bradley Cooper dies in the movie, and
I haven't seen it.
he
Spoilers. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. That happened now.
How have you not seen A Star Is Born?
Because I haven't gone around to it. What do you mean?
You've never seen the originals either.
You haven't seen Jojo Rabbit.
But Gage, you've never seen the originals?
Why the fuck? I didn't even know that movie was.
I'm so sorry you guys brought me on here today. I've done so many bad things. Anyway, you can tell to me, in my opinion, I think Lady Gaga's acting skyrockets because I could tell when Bradley Cooper is behind the fucking camera, directing the fucking shit out of her and getting her there. And it's so cool to watch it and think of it that way, or think about the actual production of how it went down, and thinking about things. And I don't remember why I went down this rabbit hole what we were talking about.
Because we were talking about you could just see Gal Gadot give up.
Oh, Gal Gadot, yeah. God bless her soul. But it's it's kind of the bad acting. It's how much of it is really their fault? Besides, it could be the director, it could be the editor, it could be
when it comes to that
script.
movie, there's plenty of blame to be placed on her shoulders, but it's not all of it.
I mean,
there's plenty of blame to go around. The whole thing is a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so tired of talking about one.
Yeah, let's. So,
but on a side note, back to kind of what she said. As a producer, I watched a actor deliver the performance of his life, and in my head, I'm going, "Oh my god, we got the shot. This is going to be amazing." And then I have it put in front of me, and I'm going, "That's the shot.
Yeah,
that's the shot you guys chose." It was it was a fight because I was like, not for nothing, but if I haven't spoken to Michael, but I'm like, if I was Michael, I would be raging out because I'm not thinking about him. I'm not thinking about his performance. I'm not thinking about anything he delivered. I'm thinking about why the hell you didn't use a Steadicam. I was like, that Oscar out, not that it'd ever be in that, but if that was a contender to me, I'd be like, well, it's out. I can't pay attention to what he's saying. So it really is a big point of how quickly something can go south or work out for the better in post, you know?
For sure.
But what were you going to say, babe?
You guys sticking to your 9s?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not faltering. I'm sticking at 8.4.
Gotta pump those numbers
Fair
up.
enough.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Look, we can't give every movie we do a 9+. At some point,
well, then we gotta start picking bad movies.
We pick movies
we love.
We pick movies we love. We love talk about movies, and that's what happens.
And none of us gave any kind of decent score to Wonder Woman. So
no, I gave it a 0, I think.
Oh no.
I think you gave Black Dynamite something in the 7s.
Yeah, I did.
Jesse gave it a 10. So we didn't talk much about the technical stuff at all. I mean, I think we did sprinkle it throughout.
Well, is there anything you want to touch on that we missed?
No, I guess as far as banter goes,
I feel like you're longing for something, Gage.
No, I was just pointing out. That's it.
All right. Sure.
Rodrigo Prieto is shooting Taylor Swift music videos now. He shot the music video for The Man. If you've seen it.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Have you seen The Man music video?
No, are they actually they're things? They're not just that didn't make sense. They're like shorts. They're not just music videos, or are they?
They're kind of like. Have you seen Dave Meyer's music videos where it's pure scenes? Okay. They do set up scenes.
Okay.
They're not acting through it, but it's oh, this looks like it kind of could be in a movie. I mean, the budget's not as high, so it doesn't look as.
Right, but I'm saying it's a 3-minute song, it's a 3-minute video, or is it a 3-minute song and a 10-minute video?
Oh no, it's not like they're acting or anything. It's not like a movie. It's a music video.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah, but there's a scene that's the whole thing. The song is about if I were a man, things would be different. So the music video shows her dressed as a man. Okay. Makeup is awesome. She looks like a dude, and just doing dude things.
Yeah, I was like, "Where's that coming from?"
And one scene in particular is very Wolf of Wall Street-y.
That makes
sense. So she's in a stock room, walking through, being
power suit.
Boss. Exactly.
Power suited up.
Well, power suit, but as a dude, so just a regular suit, I guess.
Just a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a suit then. It's just basic. You gotta be cool.
Yeah, he shot it after coming off this.
Huh.
Well, years after coming off this.
Interesting.
Thelma Shoemaker still fucking killing it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The editing in this, I know we briefed on the continuity issues, but I heard it's great.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They've been killing it since the 60s, her and Scorsese.
Wow.
Killing it.
And you can kind of tell too, I feel like when you watch her stuff and Scorsese stuff, what was their collaborations. They have.
She edited every movie of his.
No, I thought Jesus.
Gangs?
The
Gangs.
editing
thought
process
there was
is
a couple
so
that she
fascinating
didn't.
to me. Like editors are God's gift to the entire entertainment industry, the entire film industry. I can't even choose a like photo of myself out of like say I got some headshots done and there were like 200 pictures. It literally took me 6 months to like pick one to put on like send in.
Oh, just the person who takes the thing and then makes it.
Like how do you
Like,
pick? Okay, so if they have
speeds it up.
27 takes, like, and 3 different fucking cameras, like what?
You're just there comes to a point where it's like you just gotta choose.
You're literally
like,
picking
there's-
between 100 shots
There's
of
been
like.
times, you just gotta choose. Like, you narrow
Like,
it
is
down.
everyone okay? Like,
Well, no. So they're marking it. They're marking it on set. You know, they got Scripty there who's saying like, this take works. This take works. This take was extraordinary. Look
Right.
at that one. And then in the editing, they take whatever they noted down as the best one. They just cut the movie together. And then if they don't like something, or if they
they go
go,
back in.
oh, can we see if this line is done differently somewhere else? Then they'll be like, all right, let's find a different one. But they're not watching every take of everything.
Yeah, I still
No.
just imagine like how they like. I just think of it so like literally. Like I just think of like all these files and all these things that take forever to load and that are so disorganized.
no,
just
it's
like
not.
how do you?
Well, they have
do that?
assistants for that shit.
I
And
know, but like God, that's what I'm
Literally.
saying. God bless.
Yeah.
And it
Them.
gets cataloged and stuff like that, so you know like what's going on, and like he said, like if you have 2 scenes that are both marked with the same like note of being good or exceptional,
Yeah.
you watch it, you see what's best, and then all of a sudden you maybe watch it and realize, oh, it's not exceptional. There's continuity.
How long do
issue.
you think? I guess usually feature films are created in roughly a year. I would say they're like written in a year, probably filmed over 6 months to a year.
So it's so very. I mean, there's some
Yeah.
films written in 3 weeks, and then
Yeah, that's true.
Some-
films written in 10. Like Nolan took like 10 years to write Inception or some shit. It was like-
Well,
I
fucking
mean,
that
Games
movie.
Games in New York was written like 10 years or plus before.
But would
it
you
got
say the
made.
turnover is
Avatar
probably a
was
year
written
What's up?
for a feature film? The turnover is
From-
maybe a year
from-
from like filming
from
to
major
editing to
studios, like,
releasing.
From development
from
deal
major
to-
studios, yeah.
From like, hey, we want you to write this movie to finished product.
No, more like shoot to edit
From
to
production
release.
to post.
Like
Yeah,
release.
yeah.
I would
Um,
say like 6 to 9 months.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
would say
amazing.
A year max, probably. I maybe.
Depends on how much CG, but
Yeah, and
But now I feel like we're in a place of like I feel like the turnover rate now they're just trying to pump out movies. I mean, maybe not now because of the specific circumstance.
Marvel
but
was pumping out 3 movies a year.
yeah, that's crazy.
Now that's Disney. That's the money's not an issue.
But it's
we
like
do
the
whatever we gotta do
actual,
when we gotta
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Specificity that's put into movies, like the dialogue is missing the mark, and all these different things. They just care about like the highest production value, which to me, I think a better film.
Well,
is,
we also touched on that in the Wonder Woman thing that
Mm-hmm.
there's probably too many high level execs coming in and saying like, oh, do this, do that. We don't like that. We don't like
Yeah,
this.
sticking
Too many
their
cooks in the
fingers
kitchen.
things.
Yeah,
you know?
I think we're seeing a very big push towards indie too, of
Hell yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
I think
funded
I
and-
think the $30 to $50 million movie is dead, and you're only gonna see like below
I feel
30
like
million.
people are longing for specificity.
Talking budgets.
I know what you're
I
talking
think the 30 to 50 mil, like that range is kind of dead. You're either gonna get like below 30 low budget stuff, or
like
the,
Game of
or,
Thrones.
or the fucking Avengers movies
Yeah,
that cost
yeah,
200
yeah.
million to make.
Yeah.
Like because there's no space. Those movies that made like that cost like 30 to 60 to make, that were real good movies, well written, good actors. They made all their money on the DVD market.
I'm gonna look up a
'Cause-
movie that I think
Because
might be.
DVDs cost
in
$3
that
to make, and they were charging $25 a pop. So you could afford only making 17 million at the box office because you're gonna make 100 on DVD sales.
I'm trying.
That's
to,
not the case anymore. It's harder to make money with streaming and all of this shit. So those mid-level movies, I just think they're gonna disappear.
Yeah, I also think that
So-
part of the issue, part of the thing is too, is it's not that expensive to make a movie. What makes it expensive is Leonardo DiCaprio got paid $25 million for Wolf of Wall Street. Their budget was $100 million. That's a quarter of their budget. If I turn around and want to make a film and I call Gage to be my DP and Katt's now my actress and you're booming for me, okay, how much is it costing me? You know what I'm saying? In reality, like even if you guys were to charge me whatever, still, how much is it costing me? It's not costing me nowhere near 25 million.
Yeah.
You know,
What was
so
your
it's a
range
level.
that you think is dead.
Like 30 to 65.
Okay. I was.
What movie did you
I looked up Uncut Gems, and that was 19.
Oh.
Yeah, but you could
Jennifer
argue that's
Vendetti.
like almost an indie film, though. That's like
I know.
basically
I'm looking
indie
up
level.
like
A24 in the
I'm
set.
looking
Joker.
up like a Joker.
Look up Joker. That was
Joker's a
Braun.
good one.
That was Braun's studio.
See, and the thing about Joker is like I feel like it's that specificity.
Joker
Like
was 55.
that movie hit so hard because it was so like, ooh.
Yeah.
But Joker got to be
Ooh.
one of those like
What about Bombshell? That's also Braun.
who's Braun? What?
That
Joker-
Bombshell
Studio.
with
Joker-
Margot Robbie.
Joker's
Bombshell.
also a hard one to throw in that category.
No, I'm
'cause-
thinking of indie studios that are up in the
Because they would have
that's why.
thrown more money at that movie if they had to.
and also
I think-
because it's the like it's kind of a superhero movie without really being one because you still
Right,
have
right,
that.
right.
Bombshell's
Even though
32.
it's a real
32?
movie,
It
you
has
have the
a
built-in
wider
comic book
fan
audience.
base. Yeah.
32.
32
Bombshell.
million on what?
Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Big cast. Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, Charlize Theron. Massive cast.
How old is that movie?
Brand new. Came out at the same time as Joker.
So a couple of years, right?
2 years max.
The Post. That was 2017, but 50 million.
Hmm.
Vice 2018.
Right,
60
but
million.
I'm talking.
I know what you're-
I really mean going for. You're just interested to see what falls in that category.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I'm thinking going forward, it's gonna kind of slowly fade
Do you think
away.
it'll fizzle out? Kind of like music videos, like either you're fucking
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar or you're
or Gage is making it.
or Gage
So
Honestly,
it's been another great episode. We're gonna close it out.
we gotta go.
Katt, plug away, sister. Plug all your shit.
I did nothing but sit here and get in trouble.
No, I mean
today.
plug like your stuff.
I don't deserve to plug myself. You can find me on the Instagram at the pentagram. You can find me on the Instagram at Planet Cat and
Planet Cat.
Couch to Couch,
Couch to Couch, aka Cat Rarity, aka Cat, aka Disco Jane.
aka
a girl of many monikers.
AKA I went to high school with these guys. So if you need to find me, just look for them.
All right,
He knows where I
Gage?
live.
Gage. Any closing statements?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Gage Zangi. I'm on Venmo, Gage Zangi. I'm on Snapcash, Gage Zangi. Send me some.
If you can spell Zangy. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. Peace.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the show, whatever movie it was about. This is a generic pre-recorded outro, but we hope you had fun. We sure do. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
And the only prescription is more cowbell. We will not go quietly into the night.
Stay gold, pony boy.
I will not die sober. Get those fucking loose. That's all, folks.